What's this? I found something.
His gaze rests upon you for a moment, then moves on. The spirit of an older man observes the nearby painter. He tut-tuts to himself.
That poor boy is wasting his time, walking upon well-trodden paths. I thought I'd raised him better than that. Did you tell him what you thought of his little picture? A budding painter, a journeyman, if you will. I'm afraid I poisoned the well for the poor lad. He had to grow up in the shadow of I, the finest painter Arx has ever seen. I blame myself. I should never have encouraged him as a child. He could have grown up to be a merchant or a dentist, not embarrassing himself like this. Are you simple? Why, I painted The Sacrifice of Lucian, the greatest series of paintings to ever come out of Arx. They are part of a private collection now, Lord Kem's. Perhaps he'll grant you a viewing, but I doubt it. There's a reproduction on display at the cathedral. Not the same as viewing the original, of course, but it gives the great unwashed something to pray for.
A young man works at a canvas, mounted on an easel. Smears of what must be red paint are evident on his hands and clothing. He's oblivious, in a daze as he paints.
I didn't just see it, I witnessed it. Now I must preserve it upon canvas for the generations to come.
He nods, a faraway expression on his face.
Tracking sighted at sea. Several ships missing.
The great schism of the Divine Order and the ruination of Arx. This will be my masterpiece. I usually only display completed works, but, well, this painting's raw power is already plain to see. Here, feast your eyes.
He gestures to the canvas. It's completely covered in the same shade of red, layer after layer. It's sodden, dripping onto the cobbles. He cracks a limp smile. He seems to be getting paler by the minute.
True art requires sacrifice. Artists must put themselves onto the canvas.
He tugs back the sleeve of his tunic to reveal a blood-soaked cloth bandage around his wrist.
No, I must continue. What would my father say if he was still alive to see me now? He was the finest painter of his generation, and he used his own blood for his masterwork, the final panel of The Sacrifice of Lucian. Self-preservation is a petty concern. I must put the spiritual above the corporeal. I must finish. For the most part, a copy can be seen at the great cathedral here in Arx. I visit frequently for inspiration. But the original panel, the one that my father used his blood to depict Lucian's final sacrifice, was given to Lord Kem a long time ago. He keeps it locked away somewhere in that mansion of his. A masterpiece like that should be on public display for all to see.
Back again, eh? I don't blame you. It's not often that you get to meet a world-class artistic mind, and not my dolt of a son. Unfortunate, isn't it? He isn't without talent, but he never overcame the fact that he was my son. Of course I am. I painted the greatest works of art that Arx has ever seen. The Sacrifice... Where are Smells? Oh, Mr. Smells!
She nods a greeting, turns away.
I There's bodies in the streets. This place isn't free, not anymore. Lucian's day arrives. Hopeful pilgrims take the path of blood.
Comers, natives alike. We shall tread. We shall tilt.
This can't be happening.
Those bloody paladins are the only reason why any of your lot can still show your faces around here, lizard. We're good people in Arks. We don't want your kind. I heard that the paladins killed unarmed magisters. Didn't even let them surrender.
Too loud. I don't want no trouble, lizard. Just leave me alone.
I see you avoided the
Hear
fight.
ye, hear ye.
You didn't get your hands dirty either.
Suspect in Alexander murder found dead in Driftwood. Hear ye, hear ye. Magisters routed. Lord Kem's paladins back in charge. Hear ye, hear. Void-woken attacks increase. Citizens warned to be alert. Hear ye, hear. Kraken sighted at sea. Several ships missing. Hear ye, hear ye. Magisters colluded with Black Ring. Paladins clean house. Hear ye. Queen Justinia confronts rebel factions. Dwarven royal stands tall. Hear ye. Paladins promise the Good Counsel School will reopen soon. People respond, no hurry. Hear ye, hear ye. Stranger threatens kid. Town crier unhappy.
She sticks her tongue out at you, then gets back to work.
Hear ye. Trouble brewing in the ancient empire. Dallas strengthens border defenses. Hear ye. Lucian's day arrives. Hopeful pilgrims take the path of blood. Not if you're without sin, it isn't. Hear ye. Dwarven wedding interrupted by Voidwoken. Brave dwarves party on. Hear ye. Cranley Hubert publishes latest edition. New book already out of date. Hear ye. That's all the news that's fit to share.
What a pile of junk.
They got damaged in the fight. It'll fix up just fine.
Suspect in Alexander murder
You're
found dead
confident.
in Driftwood.
I'll give you that.
I welcome newcomers and natives alike. We shall tread. We shall tilt.
Business must be booming for you, all their broken weapons.
These magisters don't tend to bite with.
Get out of here, you dirty mutt!
Still, the paladins.
Back in business! Thank the gods for Lord Cam, eh? He sorted out them void woken. Now, what'll it be?
All those broken arrows. You've got your work cut out.
Paladins promise the Good Counsel
Some are still
will reopen soon.
pilot is young.
They got damaged in the fight. It'll fix it.
You're confident. I'll give you that.
Majesty's routed! Lord Kem's paladins...
I'll do business with you, but keep your distance.
Roll up, don't be shy.
Oh, yes. The town is all a twitter over your escapades at the gate. It's the perfect time to replace the hunting supplies you've lost, yes? May the land sustain you and the wild game feed you, friend.
Shoot, you fleabag, shoot.
For your good health.
What a pilot is young.
They got damaged in the fight. It'll fix it.
You're
Nature
confident. I'll
provides.
give you that. Nature provides.
Get out of here, you dirty mutt.
Hunters, I've got the wares you need.
All those broken arrows. You've got your work cut out.
Some are still good. What you looking for?
I'm not picky, so long as the arrow flies straight.
I welcome newcomers and natives alike. We shall trade.
You a hunter? I've got just the
Kin,
thing.
they burn our flags and set our homes alight. Take comfort in knowing that you can find strength in the most delicate of elixirs. Do avail yourself of them. Do return, should you find it necessary.
Hunters, I've got the wares you need.
All those broken arrows. You've got your work cut out.
Some are still good. What you looking for?
What a pilot.
All I did.
They got damaged in the fight. It'll
Lucian, stay alive!
Get yourself geared up. These magisters don't tend to buy weapons.
The puppet is still and silent.
A visitor. Tell me, do you like puppets?
The toy seller nods and smiles.
Wonderful. Here, take a look at this.
The puppet springs to life.
Impressive, no? There's a lot of craftsmanship in that small package. Quite a lot. Now, what can I do for you? I haven't had many callers of late, what with all the fuss and hubbub that's been going on outside. Sauce, what else? Each and every one of my darlings has a little bit of magic in them. It turns a mere toy into a friend. I'm on good terms with the Divine Order. They know what my work entails. They've even had use for me in the past. I have nothing to fear from them. Oh, no, not at all. I use only the smallest sprinkle of sauce in my work. I'd hardly think a Voidwoken would set its sights on me and my darlings. Quite. Luckily for me, I have everything I care about right here. Why, I could lose days on end rummaging around inside my darlings. Consider me at your service if you need anything else. I think... No touching, please.
I've no problem with your kind, Lizard. But plenty around Arks do. Tread carefully.
Hunters.
Get out of here, you dirty mutt!
Crashing sighted at sea. Several ships missing.
What's going on? I smell terrible things, I do. I smell fear and blood and doom and death and something else. Something worse. It's coming from under the city.
You, eyes over here, yeah? I know she's pretty, but me wife's here to work, not to gawk at. Now, what'll it be? Now that you're all done, why don't you just skedaddle on out of here?
Roll up, don't be shy. Shoo, you flea bag, shoo! Roll up, don't be shy.
If you've got some bite in you, then I've got what you need.
Shoo, you flea bag, shoo!
I'm just the one that hammers and such. You want the wares, you speak to my wife Fiona over there.
Look
Look at the size of that thing. The harbour is ruined. There's no getting food in. I wonder what dead Voidwoken tastes like. Probably chicken. I hate chicken.
Real antiques at realistic prices. Who cares to trade?
Rarities, remnants, and relics.
I heard that the paladins killed unarmed magistrates.
Confess your sins.
I confess I follow the path of Lucian. And I confess, I really am sick of your prattle.
Reconsider, Paladin. You may yet save your soul.
Please, you've got to help me. My wife, they want to kill her. She didn't do anything wrong. She was just trying to save lives, but no one will listen. You have to help. Please. Of being a good person. Please, there's no time. They'll kill her. Go! Oh, Divine Lucian, please help us.
I heard that the paladins
Your sins are grave, Paladin. Confess them for all to hear.
Lucian's love, thank you, but please, you have to hurry. Go! Help! Someone, please!
You will see justice in Lucian's holy name. We gather here today.
What is this? Am I dreaming? I went to my bunk after patrol duties, and now... this. I'll wake up in a minute. Winslow's snoring always wakes me. This can't be real.
Because you refused a direct order. You broke your oath. The penalty is death.
This is madness.
The spirit wails and babbles incoherently. It's clear she knows nothing about the Black Ring.
I saw her enter the city with the white. Or did I? Did I dream it? Am I dreaming you?
This we pray.
Lucian's love. Please, you have to stop this madness.
You approach, but the Paladin's icy blue eyes never move from his prisoner.
You are interrupting a Paladin court, straight.
You can call this a court until the end of days, Kem. It's still a disgrace.
The prisoner will be silent. We are beyond accusations. This once paladin is guilty of refusing orders and protecting supporters of the Black Ring.
They were boys. Local boys that signed up for steady pay in a slick uniform. A couple of white traitors doesn't mean every Magister is in league with the Ring.
At best, you are a coward. At worst, you are a traitor. In either case, the sentence is death.
His icy eyes focus on you for the first time, pinning you with a freezing look.
Step aside, stranger. I see. You have my thanks for that. You did us a great service. Now, if you would do me one service more, stand aside.
Kem pauses for half a moment, his eyes flickering to the troops around him.
Perhaps, even in war, we may find space for mercy. Very well. She will not die today.
The paladin looks at you as Kem turns away and silently mouths thank you.
Find a cell for her. And the rest of you have your duties. Move!
Oh, by the Divine, thank you. I'll never forget this kindness.
I heard that the paladins killed unarmed magistrats. Didn't even let them surrender.
Not much bloody order in this place.
Order of society, the Magisters say. Not much bloody order in this place.
The spirit of a half-dressed magister stands before you, fumbling to draw his phantom blade from its sheath. The spirit manages to draw his sword and utter a challenge, though not one aimed at you.
Alarm! Sound the alarm! There's paladins attacking! Where are the whites?
He starts to swipe and jab his sword at an unseen opponent.
You there! Be sure not to obstruct paladin business. We're to search this place top to bottom. We haven't, but we will. Not that it's any business of yours.
Order of society, the Magisters say. Not much bloody order in this place.
Useless mundanity. Find something Trotted on the whites. Nothing and more nothing. This is a waste of my damn time. The whites must have left something badly behind.
The spirit of a magister lingers nearby, scowling at the damage that's been dealt to the premises.
Look at this! Just look at this! Our barracks ransacked by our own brothers in arms, and my sworn magister comrades murdered by them!
Nothing. Just more magister rubbish.
The paladins just showed up. No notice, ready for a scrap. They claimed we were traitors and were plotting with the Black Ring. Lunatics, a lot of them. Are you mad? They're our sworn enemies. Whatever evidence the paladins think they have is false, and I hope my brethren make them choke on it. How would I know? She and those whites she surrounds herself with don't announce their plans like town criers. You can be sure of one thing, though. The paladins will never catch her scent. I got Brent out of here. He was wounded. He wouldn't have stood a chance if I hadn't helped. Hopefully some more made it as well. I came back to see if I could help any others, but I got a saber through the heart instead. Murdering blue bloods. The Void's welcome to the lot of them.
The spirit leans back to appraise you, a guarded look on his spectral features.
You're no paladin, but why should I tell you?
Nothing. Just more magister rubbish.
Fine. Just check in on him for me, will you? There's a spot around the back, at the bottom of an embankment, where a culvert drains into the river. I lowered him down there, where the paladins likely wouldn't see him. He was bleeding like a stuck pig, though. I don't know if he made it.
I've spotted something.
This fire was set on purpose.
The plaque reads, 2, Order of Society. Engraved on the plaque are the words, Discipline of body. The plaque reads, purity of mind. The plaque reads, pure. Engraved on the plaque are the words,
Where would I hide something I didn't want found?
the plaque reads, the plaque reads, for. The plaque reads, pure. The plaque reads, engraved on the plaque are the word, the plaque reads, for loyalty to the The plaque reads, to Order of Society. The plaque reads, purity. Engraved on the plaque are the words, the plaque reads, for loyalty to the divine.
Fools! They aren't even looking in the right spot. They'll never find what they want. What's this then? The Paladins resorting to bringing in outsiders to try and decipher my work.
He sneers at you. His spectral form bears impressions of severe burn injuries.
No matter. You'll fail just like them. I was the High Cryptographer of the Magister Order, until the Paladins killed me. Coded letters, passwords, security measures, all my creation. Now that I'm dead, you'll never decipher any of it. My work will outlive you all.
Nothing. Just more Magister rubbish.
My task was to protect secrets, not to interpret them. But let me say this. The notion that we would have anything to do with the Black Ring is absurd. Patently absurd.
The spirit's smug demeanor gives way to an angry scowl.
Desperate measures made necessary by the treacherous actions of our so-called allies. My encryption guards the most important secrets. My very life's work was to hide key intelligence from the light of both sun and source. What I know and what I have seen shall remain.
Nothing. Just more Magister rubbish.
If I were a wight, where would I hide something I didn't want found?
The plaque reads, Purity. The plaque reads, 2. Engraved on the plaque are the words, Discipline of Body. The plaque reads, 4.
Order of society, the Magisters say. Not much bloody order in this place.
In need of something, traveller? If the harbour's a pleasure doing business. Even now.
Strong. Lucian will preserve you.
Oh, Lucian, please return.
Another card?
No, I'm holding.
I feel awful. Me too. Hopefully Lucian will grant me his blessing.
Keep strong. Lucian will preserve you.
Another card?
No, I'm holding.
My soul, oh, Lucian.
Me too.
Please return.
I feel awful. Hopefully Lucian will grant me his blessing.
Keep strong. Lucian will preserve you.
Another card?
No, I'm holding.
Me too.
I pledge my life, oh, Lucian. Please return.
I feel awful. Hopefully Lucian will
holding.
Keep strong.
Me too.
Lucian will preserve you.
Another card?
No, I'm
I feel
holding.
awful. Hopefully Lucian will grant me his blessing.
Keep strong. Lucian.
I'm the last in need of something, traveller. If the harbour's a pleasure doing business. Even now.
Another card?
No, I'm holding.
Me too.
I feel awful. Hopefully Lucian will grant me his blessing.
I
Keep strong.
pledge my life.
Lucian will
for
preserve
Lucian. Please return.
Another card?
No, I'm holding.
Me too.
I feel awful. Hopefully Lucian will grant me his blessing.
Keep strong. Lucian.
Your blood for my blood, scum. May your wounds never heal. Your blood for my blood, scum. May your wounds never...
The spirit of a magister jabs a spectral finger into the paladin's wound, while muttering some profane-sounding curse.
I'll do as I please. This paladin filth hacked me down right here in our headquarters. She's going to suffer for what she did to me.
The spirit thinks for a moment, then moves back from the paladin.
Very well. I am done with this world.
Last. Thank you. The wound's closed over. Thank you. Here, I found this on one of the magisters. It looks valuable. Take it, with my thanks.
Not much bloody order in this place.
The spirit continues to stand by and scowl.
Out the rear door there. Then look over the edge by the waterside. There's a little patch of land next to where the sewers drain into the water.
The spirit of a Magister stands before you. He has one hand pressed to his abdomen. Silvery spectral blood oozes from between his fingers.
It shouldn't hurt anymore, but it does. I swear it does. Tell me, have you seen a Magister named Winslow? Stout fella, a little loud. He helped me escape when the Paladins attacked. I'd hate to think any harm came to him. I don't rightly know. The Paladins came, intent on ransacking the barracks. The fighting started so quickly. Before I knew it, I was wounded, and Winslow was hauling me away. He said he'd come back soon, and we could escape into the sewers. But that was the last I saw of him. Winslow and I came across it while we were looking into some inmates who went missing from the prison. I doubt anyone will figure out what happened to them now. I don't think the Paladins care about that kind of thing. I hope Winslow's all right. He's one of the good ones. Dead? Damn it! Damn it to the void! Winslow deserved better than that.
Several bystanders are suddenly engulfed by smoke and flame. Flesh melts, bone reshapes, black eyes glare, and fanged maws hiss sulphurously.
The doctor sends his ill wishes. You killed his advocate. Now you must pay!
Why, man? Well, hello, handsome. Care to hear about the power of cheese? I've got wheels and rounds and blocks and rolls and possibly more. But my wares are nuanced, with undertones of something rare.
She looks you up and down, then
What's on my mind? Why, texture, maturity, taste. But most of all, I'm wondering what tickles your fancy. Looking at you, I think it may be power. Am I right? Well, I may have misjudged you, but I can help you. I can fulfill your cheesy desires. The pleasure is mine.
Several bystanders are suddenly engulfed by smoke and flame. Flesh melts, bone reshapes, black eyes glare, and fanged maws hiss sulphurously.
The doctor sends his ill wishes. You killed his advocate. Now you must pay!
Do you know, this Ark's place does...
mistake once made, from Lucian, turncoat strayed. Seekers, take heart. It does no harm while we keep watch.
Nailed shut. They won't budge.
The Magister Spirit looks up at you from a tortured face. His eyes are filled with pain and terror, and his hands grasp tight to each other, clenching and clenching harder and harder.
In this dingy hole, to end my days, here, where I once toiled, but oh how I prayed for an end, at the end. And I'm still praying. For the glory of Lucian, there is no task unworthy. Here we turned out abominations into servants of the Lord. And the more powerful the sorcerer, the better the geist they make. All the better to serve him. For him we pray always.
You are the foot. You are the foot that aches to run away, the foot that remembers the feel of grass underfoot so long ago. You are the foot that listens to Magister Timort's heart. You are the hand. You are the hand that hurts, the hand that kills, the hand that bleeds them dry. You are the hand that listens to Magister Timort's head.
all the prisoners. Where did they go? Maybe.
Don't listen to what she says. Her evil and slithering ring through your ears. So they do it.
Besides, they weren't sorcerers.
While the mistake lives, we shall not be free.
He's just a child. Looks it, yes, but I sense something more, something sinister.
Come on, you gotta let me out of here.
You've left Fort Joy well in your past, I see. The Seekers are right to put their faith in you. I served the Seekers in death as I did in life. 5 wicks, 5 wardens, and 1 mistake. Caged and muted.
The unlit candle nearby flickers briefly to life. The spirit shakes her head and gives you a dismissive wave.
Leave me be. I mustn't falter again.
The spirit offers you a friendly look, but does not speak to you. The spirit shakes his head as you near. He does not wish to speak.
While the mistake lives, we shall not be free.
Can't you help me?
The God Woken has come, as I foresaw, and as I feared. The Seekers have suffered enough for their mistake. For them, for us, turn and go. Not just a mistake, the mistake. It was Gareth that brought him to us. Charon, the first God Woken the Seekers found. He ate our food, he enjoyed our fellowship. We nurtured him and taught him.
We elevated him, presented him to the Order. Here he is, we cried, a claimant to divinity. Lucian's cathedral wouldn't remain empty for long. We were certain of it.
The spirit whips his head towards the caged boy. His eyes narrow, even as the child's widen in apparent terror.
Can't you help me?
We were giddy, high on our own success. We should have seen the massacre coming, but we didn't. I was the first to die, but hardly the last.
I just want to go home. Please, I'm so cold.
Charon is a potent foe. He took to the sky as if on wings of pure source. I might think a wyvern were attacking, had I not seen for myself his raging eyes.
The child whimpers, poking at a paternal instinct you rarely acknowledged.
Lucian's righteous light guided Gareth and Siva. They blinded him, caged him, but the damage was done. The Seekers were disbanded. Dallas was empowered, and we will never know the comfort of the Hall of Echoes. This is our penance, and the Seeker's burden.
This is our penance, and this is his punishment. Do not release him. Do not release the monster.
Don't make light of the Seeker's sacrifices. Walk on. Don't look back. Let the mistake remain where it belongs.
Can't you help
In the... Please, Lizard. Go.
The spirit's focus is affixed to the nearby candle. He waves you away as you approach.
Please, I'm so cold.
A mistake once made.
I wouldn't do anything wrong, mister. You gotta believe me. Let me out, please. I'm not a mistake.
Seekers, take heart. He does no harm while we keep watch.
He gives you a look. Bafflement, hopelessness, and innocence radiating from those big eyes. But then, a grin unfurls upon his lips. A grin that does not reach his eyes.
Okay, you got me. The spirits do not lie. So, you see them too. Interesting. That makes you one of the Meister's chosen ones.
Beware, stand tall, Seekers.
Siva's standards were always uneven. Looking at me, then looking at you, that hasn't changed.
He laughs, 3 measured chuckles, each a little more disturbing than the last.
You're God-woken, yes? Oh, but it's always so hard to keep track of the names they give you. First sorcerer, then God-woken, all the while dangling another one in front of you. Divine. You want it bad, don't you? You're chasing this thing, this label. Maybe you're trying to save the world. Maybe you're just doing it because they tell you to. The Seekers told me the same thing. They told me I could rise. I could be the next Divine. I fell for it. Well, who wouldn't, eh? I saw the light, but not in the way they'd expected. I heard the voice. Lucian himself. He gave me the truth. He told me to carry it. He made me real. And he showed me Ahu and the Seekers. He showed me that they're traitors. They have him captive, you know. Oh, yes. He's alive, but he's imprisoned. He has instructed me to free him from his enemies. The Seekers doubted me. Seekers, take heart. It does no harm while we keep watch. Lucian told me to express myself, so I did. I showed those Seekers exactly what I could do. Seekers might be faithful, but they sure as hell aren't smart. I've killed many, but there are more. Free me. Free me, Godwoken. Release me and receive Lucian's favor. We're Godwoken, you and I, practically brothers. Free me, and we'll save Lucian from the traitors. Well, who wouldn't? Charon the Divine, said the Seekers. I was flattered. My ego loved the idea. And the power. I wanted it. I God's damned craved it. And the Seekers delivered it on a silver platter. Gareth couldn't wait to show me off to the Order. But that was just my ego. That wasn't really me. This is me. Saving Lucian for the world is my true calling. That and killing Seekers. Same thing, really. Because they're traitors. Yes, the Seekers are traitors. Ahu is a traitor. That whole find a new God-woken thing? All lies. And how do I know that? Lucian told me. He's alive. He's being held by traitors. Seekers and Ahu too. But you and I, we can save him. Join me, and we'll save the Divine together. Shame is powerful. Shame destroys authority. I am their mistake. If they were to tell the truth about me, they'd lose their authority. And rightly so, if you ask me. I'll kill them for that, if for nothing else. A few dozen, at least. Would have been more if the Seekers hadn't proved so sacrificial.
And suddenly, the weeping boy is back, tugging at your heartstrings. Infuriatingly, you feel tears of your own forming in the corners of your eyes.
I'm not a monster. I'm not a monster. I'm just a little boy who's being himself, just like his father told him. I'm not a monster.
Be wary. Stand tall, Seekers. For we hold madness captive.
Can't you help me?
While the mistake lives, we shall not be free.
Please, I'm so cold.
Please, Lizard. Go.
His lunacy is all pervasive. Ignore it.
Seekers. Your sacrifice is not in vain.
Am I gonna die?
Memories of Lucian close. His image, word, madness captive. While they sleep,
Ha! You fell for it. Get it? Fell for it?
That looks dangerous. But maybe I can disarm it. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Bloody thing's been boarded up. Not very well, though. Ah!
Come on, let me out. Where are the prisoners? We don't know. Find out.
This ain't fair! Let me out!
According to this, 564 prisoners are unaccounted for.
The statue reaches toward the bottom drop.
I feel awful.
In need of something, traveller? A pleasure doing business.
Lucian will
Even
preserve
now.
you.
Another card?
No, I'm holding.
Me too. I feel awful. Hopefully Lucian will grant me his blessing.
Keep strong. Lucian will preserve you.
Another card?
No, I'm holding.
Me too. I feel awful. Hopefully Lucian will grant me his blessing.
Keep strong. Lucian will preserve you.
Another card?
No, I'm holding.
Me too.